And welcome back.
Yay!
Thick and tired with the Curvy Godmothers. Today's episode, we are going to be talking about hotties.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Bob.
That's going on.
Hotties, hall passes, alterations, and also really great feedback and emails that we've been getting from our listeners. So I'm very excited about that one because we tell you at the end of every episode, please write into us, and you're all listening. So thank you so much.
And someone wrote in, so that's great.
A few
Two
people
people,
wrote in.
yeah.
Two
Yeah,
people, I mean.
we have a couple.
So, yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
more
we have a
than that,
couple.
right?
More than that.
No,
but we're going to talk about two.
We're talking about two today. Yeah.
Anyway,
We're kind of in the same realm.
screw the Jeopardy fun fact this week, guys. Let's talk about the Oscars and let's talk about our hall passes. Because we all know you got them out there. I know you all had to deal with your other halves that if this celebrity comes fotzing around to you and say, hey, listen, I'm interested, we're going for it. Me, Ryan Gosling all the way. There is nothing.
I mean, that's always a good one.
I mean, what the
Always.
F is that, dude?
Yeah, I know.
When he was, like, first of all, he's
He's adorable.
Wait.
killing it in the fashion scene all Barbie press tour long at every award show. Hot as shit. Hot as hell.
Yeah.
Hall pass for Cassidy. Gia.
I agree. So honestly, he's a classic, Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm saying
He
it's
likes him your age, too.
You're in his age group.
well, here's the thing. So as we know, I don't.
He only dates like young 20-year-olds.
Yeah, 25 and under.
Yeah.
So I only have.
so what happens when you turn 30?
He breaks up
Drops
with
you?
you.
What happens when I turn 25 in 2 months?
Snip, snip.
Done.
Done.
Too
I
old.
might have like a few months buffer, but I don't need a hall pass. I can go down any hall I want. So, but I'll say Leonardo DiCaprio, and I was actually talking about it at brunch the other day with my father, how in love with him I am. He said, honestly, if you married Leonardo DiCaprio, I would be jealous.
I mean, what else don't you talk about your dad with at brunch, right? Like, who the hell you would go for?
We only go to brunch, me and my father.
Aw, that's
We're
cute.
brunch girls. Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So that's my hall way
All right.
that I'm walking down.
Leah Perez, happily
freely.
married, newly married to
Yeah,
the wonderful
honest-
Justin. Who's your hall pass?
I really struggled with this one because I genuinely don't think anyone's more attractive than my husband. But if I had to choose,
That's
I'm not
crazy.
just saying
Yeah, the
that.
honeymoon phase,
I'm
baby.
not just saying that.
kidding.
This
No,
episode, she's out of the podcast.
I really struggled with it. It's like really like a first person I see basis, I think. But if I could think off the top of my head, who's the guy who plays Deadpool? What's his name?
Ryan motherfucking Reynolds.
Yes.
Not only
Yeah,
is he
he's
hot,
hot.
hot as hell, DILF, and Blake, I mean, his wife
Oh,
is
I love her.
unbelievable.
I love her.
And you could tell they're just like down to earth, whatever.
Yeah.
My husband loves him because he has a soccer team.
Yeah, but he's like got a lot of the similar features my husband has. Blonde, tall, but he's a little bit
Ryan's
more
blonde?
muscular. Yeah.
He's like dirty blonde, like dark. Yeah, he's not really blonde.
That's right. Well, that's right.
Yeah.
He can
so
be
is
whatever he
Justin.
wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't know. I choose Justin. Sorry.
Wow. That's kind of
So
tender,
Leah
honestly.
doesn't really want a hall pass, but if she
I
had to have
don't.
one for the episode, she needs one. That's who she is, but she wouldn't.
It's
utilize a
also
hall
his
pass.
favorite superhero, but
Oh.
don't tell him. Yeah.
Our lips are sealed.
Wow. Me on my Ryan Reynolds all day long. Corinne Fertilina Plizzy.
This was really hard because I'm older and I just feel like, oh my God, like this was like a really hard one for me. But I have to go with Robert Downey Jr.
All day.
I can't.
Oh, that's a good
He
one
is like
too.
one of
Iron Man?
Just
Yeah.
amazing.
100%.
Oh yeah.
But I'm going back like
gives
Iron Man
Short
just
Man
makes
vibes.
him super
Short
hot,
King.
but like I'm going back like pre-Iron Man. Yeah.
Like drug addict days?
no, well, before that, and after
that was
like,
kinda hot, too.
Honestly,
I was gonna
he's
say
like
that.
the comeback kid.
Well, I think I
He's
was watching
amazing.
a TikTok. Was it Sarah Jessica Parker who also dated him?
She did date.
Really?
Robert
Yes,
Downey
I was watching
Jr.,
a whole
and he
comprehensive
also
TikTok on it
dated,
last night, and I was like, is that who I'm thinking of? But I get a lot of men confused, like Hugh Jackman.
I mean, listen, 100% all day.
Robert Downey Jr.
However, he's getting a lot of shit
Why?
That's
from
bull.
the Oscars because I don't remember the name of the actor.
RDJ.
It was the guy. It was the actor
Asian
that
American
yes
actor
that won last year.
Last year, and he was also in the Goonies. He played the little
Yeah.
So when he introduced his award, and when he went up there, he didn't even acknowledge him. So people are saying, Robert Downey Jr., you're a fucking dick. Blah blah blah.
First
blah,
of
blah.
all, let me.
Corinne's about to stand up for her man.
I'm gonna stand up for my
gotta
man
look
right
into
now.
this.
This guy, and I'm sure the guy that won last year, I don't know his name, I apologize, did the same thing. RDJ just won an Oscar Like, this man probably went up there like, oh my God. Like, he's not thinking about who I'm making eye contact with. Didn't Taylor Swift just do the same thing with Celine Dion? So, you know what? Sit down. It's not that big of a deal. He was excited. They actually say he's very humble and he's like an awesome guy.
His name was Kei Hoon Kwan. It's Kei Hoon Kwan. Sorry for the butcher.
What is he in? For what?
He won Best Supporting Actor for
last
decades. From after a decades-long absence of This is the American Dream. After the lack of parts for Asian actors forced his retirement from acting, the Indiana Jones and Goonies alum. But I don't know, Curinne. I kind of feel bad for this guy because Robert Downey Jr. hasn't he won like everything? He's been there, done that. Like,
What did he
right?
I don't think Robert
award
Downey Jr.'s
for?
ever won an Oscar before.
Let's see.
No.
No.
What
For
was he
what?
just in? I feel like he's low key in
I'm
retirement.
not good with
I
acting.
don't think
Oppenheimer.
They don't give.
He was in Oppenheimer.
First of all, wait a
Yes.
minute.
I
They're
didn't see
not
that.
giving
I
out
think so.
Oscars for Iron Man, by the way. It's a superhero movie.
Yeah.
So
I
I don't think Robert Downey Jr. has ever won an Oscar as this man. But again, what about the Taylor Swift, Celine Dion thing? Like, I don't understand.
I know, but then there was a picture of her after of her.
Don't be
hugging
hating on my
her.
man. You're going to be out of the podcast in a
No,
second,
I'm not
too.
going to hate on the man. I love him. Trust me. I love me, Robert. I love a good superhero. All the superheroes in Marvel.
I'm not a superhero girl. Like, I could literally care less.
You're telling me if motherfucking Batman just walked through the goddamn
Which
door.
Batman?
Anyway, Kevin Costner Batman? Yes.
First of all, Kevin Costner.
Not Kevin. He was Batman. No, not Michael.
Never
Michael,
played
what's
Michael
the-
Keaton.
Michael Keaton. Yes.
I'm
for
like,
being
just sit down.
if you put any man in a
knows a
Batman
lot
suit,
about Kevin
Michael
Costner.
Keaton.
I know.
Batman,
I mean, come on. Dancing
Michael
with Wolves.
Michael Keaton Batman.
Michael Keaton
Any
Batman was the
Ben
best
Affleck
Batman. Ben Affleck Batman? No. Go away.
Corinne,
Stop.
if
George Clooney looked like a better
George
Batman
Clooney,
than...
anyone. You're telling me if Ben Affleck walked in this fucking door right now in his Batman costume, Corinne, can I talk to you in the back? You'd be like, no, I'm so sorry, Ben.
I only have one whole pass. It's
I'd be
RGK.
like, all right, fine. Anyway,
I still
speaking
love
of the
you.
Oscars, all right, everyone listen, brides listen, everyone listen, everyone who's getting married, who's gotten married.
Yeah, listen up.
Emma Stone, her dress ripped.
Yes.
Her Louis
Her
Vuitton.
Louis Vuitton.
Her Louis Vuitton dress fucking ripped. And guess what? The world still kept turning. Corinne, would you like to speak on this? Because I believe you just did a TikTok about it.
We did, and I said, what did I say?
You
I
said
don't even
calm
remember
your
anymore 'cause
tits.
my memory is terrible. I said calm your
You know,
tits
Mishaps
down.
happen.
Mishaps happen.
It just
They
goes
can
to
happen
show
on the,
you.
it's a Louis Vuitton
Doesn't
dress.
matter how much
you
money
think
it
that,
is.
How much you think that dress was?
Google
Oh,
it.
fuck.
Look it up.
I
Gia,
have-
look it up.
That
On
tens
what?
of thousands.
On what device?
No, thousands. Easily.
What am I looking
Easily.
up on?
Okay, so thousands of dollars this dress
I'm
cost. Way
curious.
more than one of the wedding dresses in here.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Cassie's
not,
gonna pull it up.
okay,
Hold
Cassie's
on.
gonna pull it up.
To quote Countess Luanne de Lesseps,
Oh, Jesus.
even Louis Vuitton makes mistakes sometimes.
Vuitton.
But also, I mean, I will say Amazon did not have to pay for that dress.
But I don't
I'm
think
very
he.
sure.
Well,
I
that
don't
is
think
true.
he made a
Principal
mistake. I think it's just bound to happen.
It's-
That
she
shit-
said she
if
was-
she moved the wrong way.
Oh yeah.
It's something's gonna rip. Sorry, like I have a lot of stories about my dresses when it came to my wedding day too. Like shit happens, and that's why you have to go into your wedding day fully prepared to deal with whatever malfunctions.
Yes.
So for me, the plunge, like the illusion on the plunge of my dress, completely ripped, and my titties were threatening to be popped out all
Your
night
yits were
long.
yittying?
Oh yeah, and people were like, "Oh my God, Leah, your boobs are
gives
coming
a
out," and I was like, "So fucking look at them."
Yeah.
Like here they are. They want to say hi.
Yeah, I
didn't
want to
even
say
know,
something
Rick.
about this too.
What?
So when you're in alterations with the seamstress, I just want the brides out there to pay close attention to this. You keep telling the seamstress, I need it tighter. I need it tighter. I need it tighter. Guess what? She's going to make that dress tight, and now your body is not going to move. So if you move a certain way, like fabric has to have some sort of movement. Like you have to have some, your body's going to move. You're going to dance and stuff like that. That's why things like tools, straps, things like that, the tighter you make them, the easier to them. Your body is pulling. It's motion, it's force on these, like, I get it. You're like, oh, the seams, they should be stronger. They shouldn't rip. It's like, come on. Like, you can't be that unreasonable.
It's
These
just
things
fabric.
happen. It's
To
just
speak on
fabric
that-
and thread.
We're not saying you're supposed to walk and your dress is supposed
Oh,
to unravel.
absolutely not.
No, but like, pretty sure Corinne, we just did a Curvy Godmother about this. You're bustle breaking on the dance floor as
It's
you're
not the end of the
dropping
world.
it hot, and people are dancing around you.
As you're twerking.
That little stupid fucking hook and eye, which I hate that goddamn, hate, loathe, hate it. It's going to
Grinch.
snap.
The
The
hook and eye?
Yes.
You hate the hook and eye?
I hate it.
Wait.
I just hate it.
They break a lot.
And every time I do it, every time I'm helping a bride in her dress in the morning, I'm just like, Jesus Christ, here we go. Because, like, my brides are eating in the morning. They're drinking in the morning. Like, your body changes as you eat and drink. So when it's time to put
Bloating.
that dress on, like, mother of God. Some of them, I'm just like, holy shit. Like, don't break, little guy. Don't break.
Don't break,
Doesn't
little
break.
guy.
Bridesmaid's dress will break 90% of the time because it's a bridesmaid dress. And at the end of the day, no one really gives a shit what you look like. But that's another podcast
Well,
episode, bridesmaids.
I'll say in alterations here, because we know that those are so flimsy and they'll break so easily,
Flims.
we always reinforce them.
Yeah.
So your bride, if she's an Ivory Mean Girl,
Yeah.
she's going to have a reinforced hook and eye because we know once the hook and eye is gone, oh my God, it's a struggle. You need 3 people to get this
Right.
dress on.
Yeah.
But
How do you do
But
that?
keep in mind, even with the reinforcement, it can still break.
it can.
Right.
So
you know.
it's we do the best we can with
Yeah.
what the situations and stuff.
Let's
but-
talk about bustle. You know what I'm seeing a lot lately? Actually, talk about a 2024 trend. A lot of my brides are telling me, I don't want to bustle. So I'm just going to get a detachable skirt, take it off when I'm start dancing.
Listen,
and there's
smart.
no bustle. Because even if you do bustle, there is still going to be fabric hanging. And chances
yeah.
are people will be stepping on it. So it's just...
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how good your bustle. It doesn't matter if, Jesus comes down and does your bustle and it's gonna, if you're dancing,
Well,
you're moving.
can I
good, then
I
say-
think he was a carpenter, not a
Oh
sewer.
yeah, he
I'm
wasn't a
just saying.
seamstress.
Can I say, as a
Transferable
seamstress,
skills.
I do bustles all the time.
Yes.
And you want to make them so they have a little bit of a sweep on the ground. You
Yes.
don't want them to be higher
No,
because
you
it
don't.
looks so dumb
And then you
if
look
it
like
does.
Cinderella's stepsister.
Yes. But I have to say, mine had a little sweep. I don't recall anyone getting close enough to me that someone stepped on it and pulled it. But also, if you have a bustle and you're sitting down, you better be lifting your dress. Do not just be plopping that ass down because you're going to be pulling on those very delicate little threads and they're all going to rip.
Yeah.
So you're
That's good
also
advice.
responsible for being able to be mindful when you're sitting. Just lift your dress a little bit. You don't want to put all that weight and pressure
Yeah.
on those pressure points for the bustle.
That's a good piece of advice.
Yeah.
I will start telling my brides that too, to just lift it up a little bit.
Just
don't
a
hike it
little.
up.
No, you don't need to show everything to
You don't need to
everyone.
show the bits.
No,
Just hike it up
but
a little bit.
Just a little graceful, pick
Yeah.
up and sit is
Yeah.
perfect. That's all you need.
And I
Fabulous.
feel like you really have to think how delicate it really is. What really made me think of that is back in the day, I was thinking about silk and silkworms. And I was like, was it actual, the worms that spun the silk and then they foraged for
Do you know how you source silk?
I think we covered that Gus is not making
What's
the
a
dress.
silkworm?
What?
Silk comes from worms?
Yeah. Silkworms.
That's a little history lesson for
Yeah,
you.
she's not wrong.
Yeah, it was like that's,
That's
why
why
it was such a commodity.
Vegans can't wear silk either.
And then I
Also-
think even certain snails make dye. Honestly, I don't know. Don't check me on that. That actually may be off.
So yeah, with the
Anyways.
silkworms, that is actually how they actually boil them in their little. Yeah,
They
you
boil
didn't know
worms?
this?
Are you recording?
They kill the
I'm
worms?
trying. It's
What happened?
So what happened is they take the worms that are in their little cocoons.
Baby worms?
Yes, and then they boil them, and then they source all of the silk from their little.
Dead bodies?
Yes, that's why a lot of vegans.
I gotta
won't-
look at this up.
Yes.
Yeah, vegans
Hello,
won't
I
use-
went to
won't wear
FIT.
silk.
No, I know, I
went to
believe you, but I want to see what a
textile
silkworm
science.
I
looks
learned that in my
like.
history class, just general history class, because that used to be one of the hot trading commodities.
Oh my god.
And
That's fucking
royalty, I guess
terrible.
maybe they wore silk. I don't know. I did not go to fashion school.
Anyway, back to this shit. Emma Stone also, stop being a drama queen. Did you have to get up there and say, thank you, my dress broke? That's all she said. She was like, thank you so much. My dress broke, everyone. My dress. Shut up.
I think she was probably like, oh my God. It was like when Jennifer Lawrence fell up the steps. And she was like, oh my God. I think it was just like
Nerves,
my
maybe?
whole, yeah, my whole back is out right now. So, my dress broke.
Yeah, I read that they sewed her up in it right after, and all was fine. The Oscar coordinator sewed her back
Yeah,
up.
well, that's exactly
Yeah.
what will happen at your wedding. They're gonna sew you up, and you're gonna be fine. And like I said, your strap's gonna break, or your bustle will break, and there's safety pins, and have
Right.
a little. We have the kits, and make sure you have them, and
Yeah.
it.
Also,
life
just
goes
have
on.
so
Don't
much.
ruin the wedding because of it.
Just have so much fun that you're not even worried about.
Like who
and
cares?
Cassidy, that'll probably happen to you because it was Ryan Gosling.
Right,
She was watching Ryan Gosling perform.
right, and that's what happened. She was watching Ken, and her
Yep,
dress broke.
And I bet you would bust your dress.
I bust my on purpose. Anyway, so guys,
It's working. So.
you know what I want to talk about? Last couple weeks ago, I had a wedding, and my bride had a full on, and it was beautiful, cathedral veil with the blusher, like a very long blusher. And I thought to myself, wow, I don't see that ever anymore.
The blusher was really long
The
too.
blusher was long too.
How long?
Wow. Like
It was
to
like
the floor?
Usually it's like up to here.
Yeah.
No, but this was like past her boobs. Yeah, it was like a hardcore classic long ass.
I kind of like that.
I kind of
like a
loved every
mosquito
minute
net
of it.
on.
You don't see it ever anymore.
No.
You don't see it anymore. I feel like people are trying to steer away from being so different that you're kind of losing that classical flair. And she said it's something that her dad really wanted and that what do you call it? Her grandpa really wanted. So she wanted to do it. Are you guys seeing a lot of like are the veils coming back? Are you kind of seeing people stick away from? Was it like a
I mean, I
fluke
think
that I
like,
had?
I think if they're doing blushers, sometimes here I hear a lot of moms being like, "No, you need a blusher.
Yeah.
you
All
need
the
a blusher."
time.
And the brides are like, "I really don't want." And me personally, I did not want a blusher.
I didn't either.
It was just
it's an old school thing, you know?
yeah, and no one was giving me away. I was like 40-something years old.
I
when
also
got
wasn't
married.
getting married like in a church or anything. Like nothing
Yeah.
I did was traditional. So I was just like,
Right.
see my face.
Yeah.
Like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're like, I
Yeah.
didn't pay for all this makeup for nothing.
Yeah, I want to see you cry without
Yeah.
a sheet of fabric in between me.
Yeah.
and you.
Right.
So
Yeah, we know you're not wearing a veil because you're going to be murdered.
Well, maybe she will.
No, I feel like I would want veils for photos.
no, your veil can be thrown somewhere, and they're like, "Wait, where's the bride? Why is her veil on the ground?"
Not the veil having
The bloody
red
veil.
beading on it.
Oh, jeez.
No, that's too
I'll be
Halloween.
there
And I actually
quickly,
hate
so.
Halloween.
She's out.
The gasps and the
Halloween
silence.
is like the best.
I don't like.
It's not a holiday.
I don't like dressing for
Nobody said it was a
I don't like
holiday.
themes. I don't
It's
like
fun. I love
dressing up. I
Halloween.
don't like when I'm required to dress up for something unless it's like a formal event. Like I want to throw on a gown, but I don't want to throw on like a cheerleading costume.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I don't want to look like a zombie either. And I just feel like yeah, I want to dress like a skank on Halloween, but also Halloween you're supposed to be scaring away the demons, so I have to dress scary. You know what I mean?
You don't wanna attract
It's
the
All
demons.
Hallows Eve, but I don't like scary stuff. So I'll just wear like a juicy tracksuit and call it a day.
Oh, you'd be
nothing wrong
like
with that.
J-Lo.
Jello.
Or like me, stuck in 2005.
Yeah, exactly.
I love dressing up with Justin like a man.
Oh.
Yeah, we usually go with something really stupid. I'm always.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I
I'm
dressed up like
always a
a
man.
dad
Yeah.
one time. I wore cargo shorts. I had a clay fish that I made. It was a whole thing.
Oh,
Anyways, yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like when we're with... But I feel like when we're with brides, they usually go... I feel like if they don't want a veil, they'll do capes.
Capes.
Capes are cool.
I had one cape. You know what I had? Wings. She had
Wait, the bride?
yes, but listen to this. It was a kind of a cape, but in two parts. So she had her straps, and then it was like a button, like a bustle, and then the two pieces of fabric dragging behind her like two little.
Oh, okay. But
Okay.
it's still a cape. I'm thinking like
I thought you
full-on,
said
like,
she had,
Halloween
yeah.
wings.
Oh no,
That
like
was
Batman,
Whatever.
Do you have
like
photos?
Michael Keaton. I gotta try to find it.
Yeah.
I'll try to find it.
I'd like to see
Who did
that's
you
from,
say
like, a-
before? George Michael? What did you say?
George Michael, Karma, Chameleon? No, you dumbass.
That boy George!
Dude, just shut up,
I
man.
love Boy George.
Who is George Michael?
What? He does Careless Whisper, right?
Yes.
What is?
Also,
Freedom.
is the godfather of
Oh, yeah.
DJ James Kennedy.
It's okay.
Yes,
Cassidy.
rules.
I know GG. Yes, I'm a pump bitch. All right,
pumper?
whatever. Sorry, I
Pumps.
don't know that. I'm busy, you know.
I'm busy
okay.
too, but I like live in the world, not in a mayonnaise jar. But anyway,
Is that who the fuck says that?
me. I just said it.
Under a rock, you say in a mayonnaise
And
jar?
him in
Is
a
that
mayonnaise
is that
jar.
something you say, or is that like a people say that?
That's
I think
a
I've heard
Curinne
people say
thing.
it,
No,
but
I've never heard
people say it.
anyone
Look
else.
it up, man.
I'm
like
living in
that.
the world,
If
not in
you-
a mayonnaise
wait,
jar.
Let's
What
ask
the-
the people. Have you
Yeah.
ever heard of that?
Please write in.
phrase?
Go ahead, right in.
Screw your body positivity emails and how much the store means to
Someone,
you. Just tell
some
us about
Gen Xer,
What are the
back
odd-
me up.
anyway.
The odd insults you receive.
All right, so veils are kind of a thing of the past. Capes are coming back in. Do we have capes here? We have that one
do.
black beaded
The
crystal,
clock,
like
like Clark Kent. Anyway.
yeah. When I tried that dress on that I wore to the wedding, she was like, "How about a cape?" And there was like this armor, and I was like, "Imagine if I walked into that wedding as a guest to the wedding with armor on."
I wanted to do a cape, but then I realized the way I was going to do my hair, it would have been worthless for me to do a cape because my hair was going to be covering the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But I did end up going with a royal cathedral veil. So I wouldn't say veils are completely out. I think the royal cathedral veils are definitely in fingertip length, but I think blushers are definitely You know, it's
Yeah.
personal preference for brides.
I feel like that's usually encouraged by the fam.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first dress that I picked when I was playing the wedding?
Yes.
And I was wearing the Maggie's Tarot cape, the beaded one.
Yes.
And
Is that
then
for the Kimura?
what?
Were you for the Kimura?
No, I had the Essence dress.
Yeah.
Oh.
But the Maggie cape with it was all like beaded.
Yep.
And then I switched to the Kimura because I liked it better. And then
Then we went to the Maggie's Tarot.
then
fully
the
beaded.
Alan Lynette came in, and then I was like,
That was
no.
it.
And Cassie was like, if you don't buy this dress, we're not
Yeah, I
talking
said to her, I'm like,
ever
if you don't
again."
buy this dress, I'm like, don't like lose my number. We're
She
friendships
literally
over.
said it. She was like, well, I'll never talk to you again.
Ever. Because that was your dress. That was your dress.
Yeah.
You
Anyway,
love it so much you had a statue made about it. In the back of your fucking thing.
she's not wrong. She's not wrong.
I actually also want to do that.
You
for
should
my
totally do
dresses.
that. She's great.
Yeah. It's for people who don't know, it's the stoneware. Like they do an actual
Yeah.
sculpture of your wedding dress.
We can
which
give
is
you their
really cool.
information. Maybe we
Can they
should tag
do-
them below.
Can they do it with me in it? And like I'll just have like a statue outside my house, like a
No,
gargoyle.
'cause that's lame. Okay.
I like
big do you
watching the
want it?
videos
It's
of them
like-
making
anyway,
them.
She wants her to make a full
Like
full size
in the garden of me in my
in the
dress.
garden. Let's have some tea in our garden and
Let's-
stare at my beautiful bust.
I was like very excited when I came in today. Stare at these yiddies. I was so excited today. These stone yiddies. Oh, put it in Rob's office. Okay, anyway, so
Moving on.
moving on. Anyway, so
Crying.
I was so excited when I came in today because I heard we got some. Well, I heard we got a bunch of emails, but we're going to talk about two of them today. One of them was like really great and uplifting, and the second one was kind of sad. Leah's the one that you got was kind of sad. I don't want to talk about it. I want to take some time to talk about this.
You want me to read it right now?
Let's do Gia's first. Gia, if you can read your the DM that you got from. You want to say her name? Can you say her first name, or is it like?
I'm gonna keep it anonymous.
Yeah,
Okay,
keep it
just you
Just in
know,
case.
because you never know.
Okay.
And I usually
she'll
tell
know who
people.
she is.
Yeah, and I like to keep all the stories anonymous, and I usually that's what I say
Unless
to
they
all the girls.
specifically
Yeah.
say.
Exactly.
say
Like, oh my
name.
gosh, you can share me.
my name,
I'm like,
say
okay,
my
girl.
name.
But I will say at some point we'll be posting a wedding Wednesday of her because she has beautiful wedding photos.
Beautiful.
So she messaged me that she got married over the summer. She's a plus size girl, never excited to go wedding dress shopping at all. She knew that the standard stores wouldn't have anything or have something ugly from 100 years ago that they pulled from the back. She says, I was literally looking online to buy a wedding dress. One of my best friends was coming to me for a weekend, asked about wedding dress shopping. I told her my plan that I wasn't going to look, and she said, no way. She did some research and found us here at Ivory and Maine. She still didn't believe that we would have varieties in her size, but her friend made her an appointment anyways, and she said, you know what? Fine, I'll go. She went with her and a couple of friends. The first dress she tried on fit her perfectly and looked amazing. She literally thought it was a fluke. So from there, every dress she tried on fit so beautifully. And of course, she loved our team. We were very, we were hyping her up as per usual. She's just grateful that her friend decided to give us a call, make that appointment for her, and say, you know what? I found somewhere for you. There's
Yeah.
a place to try on dresses.
You know what?
That's amazing. I love it.
People got it. Like, this is like, do people need to know about us? Like, this is.
I mean,
Let's fucking go.
We do the best we can.
You know?
Yeah.
But like I feel like we get a lot of people that call in for the bride. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, oh, I saw you, and we want to have because. Like I said, I think I talked about it when I got engaged. I was like, great, when am I getting this dress? Mother of God. And then
Yeah.
I saw you and I was like, holy shit. Well, I want to scream it from the rooftops. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
But it was interesting what you said. You know what? That stuck out to me because I had an experience like that at a salon that I went to. I did go to somewhere, but like after you, just because you know the story.
Oh, right.
You know the fucking story. If
know
you
the
want to edit this out,
Oh, God!
you can edit it out.
Can
So-
we just bleep it?
No.
Yeah, you can.
So the whole
Right.
pull-out dresses from the back that are 100 years old that's just been sitting there, it's so true. Like if you go to a standard size store and you're like, oh, I want to try a plus. Oh yeah, we have a bunch in the back. They pull them out and it's like the TL show 3 Weddings my 3
Oh,
Weddings. So
yeah.
it's like
Yes.
those cookie cutter, cupcake,
Yeah.
rouge.
Well, it's like
fat girl wedding dress.
Yes, it's the quintessential like this is
Empire
what a
waistline.
Yes,
Empire waistline.
Empire
Cover yourself.
waistline.
Not 800 beautiful designer dresses
Yeah,
that
no, and in all different silhouettes and things like that. It's just this is what you should be wearing as a plus size bride, and they are some of the ugliest frocks we've ever
frocks.
seen.
It's a frock.
Frocks, like
Frocks
just
are
take
us.
them to the dumpster outside and set them ablaze.
Yeah, so I'm glad that her
Seriously.
friend found us. I wonder,
That's so cool.
but like, do girls just like do people like go online, like plus size Long Island.
Yeah, so
boutique,
they'll
like,
look
hello.
for plus size bridal boutiques near me, or
Yeah.
you know, that's usually how people find them. There's only maybe like 2 to 3 dozen in the whole country, so there really isn't.
Yeah.
People fly from all over the place. So you know what? A woman, will travel anywhere
Yeah,
for the right dress.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's your wedding dress. It's your
Agreed.
wedding day, and it's
Yeah.
important, and you should feel great.
Right.
So I love being like a store that like people know like all over the country. I just think that's great.
Yeah, and for any size, keep in mind, like we said before, we sold to size
yeah.
4 brides, like
Yeah.
any size, you know, come on in and we'll get the dress. We could order.
Mid-size,
We can
plus
order a
size.
dress in any. I think the misconception is we can order a dress in any size.
Yes.
Our samples are just a little bit bigger. That's it.
Yeah, we're backwards. So like
Yeah.
where you go to any normal dress shop, and all the sizes are like 8s, 12s. We just do it so that only those girls can really try on the dresses. We just do it backwards. So like
Yep.
we just have a plus size sample, and then everyone can try it on. Because like, why alienate? So if you're
Right.
really like
Exactly.
pro body positive,
Body
And no matter what
inclusivity.
size.
body inclusivity,
Size
then
inclusivity.
you should shop where the stores are inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of people think, they're like, oh my gosh, how am I supposed to see a dress that big on? How are you supposed to see a dress
clip you.
100 sizes too small?
We
than
just
you?
did. Well, I don't know. Did we talk about the Be Beautiful? We just did
Oh
a
my
shoot
God.
with them.
Yeah, down the
and
block.
It was amazing. Gianna and Mia went and
Beautiful
took 5
girls.
different dresses, and the girls were ranged in size from pretty small. I would say the one girl was maybe like a 5 or 6, maybe
Stunning girls.
up to like I don't
Different
even know.
body
Yeah,
sizes.
different up to plus size. And we clipped every single one of those girls, and you would never even know they all
The dresses
looked
are
stunning.
stunning.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Stunning. So,
So yeah, we're
Yeah.
here for your photo
You know.
shoots too.
yeah. Call us.
Yeah. I know. I was looking at the photos that Gianna took. They were
I can't
out
wait
of
to
this
see
world. I
Those
was
were on
like,
her
oh my
cell
gosh.
phone.
Yeah, I can't wait to see them.
Yeah.
So they look great.
Leah,
Yes.
you got a freaking email.
I got an email. It's a long one.
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Buckle in.
So it's a formal email, so I'm just going to read it as she wrote it. Okay, so she says, "Hi, ladies. I squealed when I saw on your Instagram that the podcast was coming back. Please keep me anonymous, but you can definitely share this email on the podcast if you like," which we are. "I've been following you since the early days of the Curvy Godmothers, and I really just want to thank you for being so transparent about the tips you give to curvier women. It's refreshing to see women be so confident in their bodies, and you're so unapologetic. I've been trained my whole life to hate my body and apologize for how much space I take up, so your videos have always been incredibly inspiring to me. I am not engaged yet, just happened to follow you back in the day when I thought that next phase of my life was happening." In parentheses, she said, "We broke up, but don't worry, that breakup led to my current relationship, which is everything I could have hoped for and more. As soon as my boyfriend proposes, I know exactly where I'm going to be going shopping." Yes. So the reason I am writing this is because I recently lost almost half of my previous body weight, and when I did, I noticed I was treated so much differently than when I was heavier. While I can't think of a time where I was mistreated or called fat when I was at my heaviest, people are just generally nicer and more approachable now that I am slimmer. What I mean by this is my social life has never been more booming since I lost the weight. I'm noticing more people are inviting me out to parties and bars more than ever before. This may be something that is in my head, which is why I want to ask you guys if you've ever felt the same way. It breaks my heart to think that the version of me that I was a year ago at my heaviest wasn't seen as the same loving, funny, and loyal friend that I am seen as now. Do you think I'm crazy, or is this really a thing that happens? Thank you for taking the time to read this. I love you guys so much and cannot wait until the day that I finally get to shop for my wedding dress. For the record, my current boyfriend has loved me at my heaviest and loves me now just the same.
That's right.
This is
King.
more of a generalization of my public experiences. By Curvy Godmothers.
Oh, what a fucking sweetheart. I could cry.
I know.
I want to like bake her cookies and bring her in. And
Invite her over here for a little tea party.
have a charcuterie board with her.
So when you hear
That's
this,
a lot.
just stop by any day. Nothing needed. We'll have tea for you ready, no matter what.
Tea ready?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever experienced that though. Thank God.
The
'Cause
difference
that
in
sounds
treatment?
awful. Yeah, no, because I've always been like I've always been heavier, and I have a great group of friends. I've always been like a socialite. You know what I mean? I never really
Yeah.
let it stop me because I would never let it stop me.
Okay,
Right.
socialite.
But I can't like.
Some people don't have that.
That's sad.
that type of. You're
Well-
very outgoing, and some people don't have that.
But-
Yeah. Can I say I've
Yeah.
always fluctuated in body weight, and I have noticed a difference. not necessarily so much with friends, but like, and we've gotten into this in the past, like on our earlier days of the podcast, but with my father. Like, I almost feel like when I'm my skinnier self, he respects me more. He wants to hang out with me more. He wants to be seen with me more. But then when I'm heavier, like now, he is like not in my life. So, and I guess that's just like, I don't know if people do this consciously, but I know my father is a very superficial person and wants to only see, like, yeah, he's always made it very clear that like, oh, no one's gonna respect you unless you're like super skinny. Like, he'd rather see me starve than to actually be a healthy body weight. So I know this is pretty heavy, but I could totally relate to it. Not so much, again, like with friends, but I have noticed, like, during COVID, I lost so much weight. Like, I dropped about 40 pounds just during COVID. And I think when everything started opening up again, I noticed that, like, I would take my shirt off to go, like, swimming, and I'd have a bikini on, and everyone's like, oh my God, Leah, you look so good. Like, which is, like, nice. Like, great. So you can tell me I look good, but I don't want to feel like, okay, now you're going to invite me to go to more pool parties and stuff with you because now I'm skinnier. Yeah. And I don't know if I can totally relate to that. I don't know if that's a thing or if it's just like, you know, in my head, but I've definitely felt it before. So I can totally relate to this person who emailed in. Yeah. Makes sense to me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But I don't know if everyone else feels that way.
Yeah, it's hard. During COVID, I lost a lot of weight too. I lost about 90 pounds.
Oh my God.
But then I got knocked up. And then we had a baby. I only gained 14 pounds with my baby. When I started gaining the weight back, it was after the baby where I'm like, let's just DoorDash tonight because I can't. Because I was like postpartum, like depression. But I don't think I've ever was treated differently. And if I was, I would say it, obviously, because whatever, right? But like, that's so sad, Leah.
I think my real friends never noticed, never cared. Yeah, they always said, like, they would acknowledge the fact that I lost a lot of weight, and they're like, you looked beautiful before, but they're like, we also, like, we see that you put so much effort into losing weight, and now
recognize your hard work.
Yes, we recognize it, but you were beautiful either way. Right. So the real friends are going to be there too. And I don't know, like, I feel like if someone treated me differently before I lost weight, and then I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't want to hang out with them.
I get it. No, I wouldn't either.
But
that's so sad for this person. That
I know.
And it's like, we have to, I think as a society, we need to get into the habit of telling people they look fucking beautiful no matter what size they are. I remember, and my friend Jen, I don't know if she's going to be listening to this. My friend Jen is a stick. She is a skinny. She just is. She eats all the time, but she's just tall and slender. She's like a twig.
Some people are just built like that.
They're just built like that. Me and Jen were at our friend Nicole was moving to Nashville, and we were at a like the Salt Shack, whatever the fuck it Pops in Long Beach, and we were like on the beach having a drink, and I was in like a sundress and she was in shorts and stuff, and I had like this long, like this gray dress with like this beautiful, like very vibrant in your face yellow and blue, like whatever, like it was really cute, and like I was a blonde and tan, whatever. This woman came up to to me and Jen, and there was obviously like drinking and stuff, and this woman came up to my friend Jen, and she like looked her up and down, and she goes, oh, we think girls should be curvier anyway, and they looked at me like, oh, I love your outfit, and they said that to my friend Jen, and they walked away, and Jen was just like, did that really just happen? She was like skinny shamed, and it was so weird seeing that from on the other side. Right. And I'm like, are you okay? She's like, I don't know. I'm kind of like upset about it. She's like, I can't help this. This is just who I am. I'm like, yeah, I know. Like,
you're like, I get it.
I know. But like, why can't we just, I say all the time, you look so pretty today. You look beautiful today. Why can't we just do that no matter what? You know what I mean?
I know. I love that you do that. Because you do that even on days where I don't feel pretty. And then, or like, I don't feel good. And then I'm like, oh, well, Cassidy thinks I'm pretty. Yeah. So
that's all that fucking matters, Leah Perez. Yeah. No, but it's true. Like, you immediately, when you see someone lose weight, you're like, oh my God, you look amazing. But how about before that? Because I bet they looked amazing before that too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you want to recognize their hard work and stuff like that. But like, oh my, wow, I'm so proud of all the hard work you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
this almost feels like from the other people, it seems very childish because it reminds me more so of my high school days when I would lose a bunch of weight and then all of a sudden all the cool girls wanted to hang out with me, and then, you know, if you put the weight back on, they're like, oh, but we don't really want to hang out with you. Yeah.
Well, it's like,
I didn't really have that either. I don't think.
No, I had that because like I said, I lost and gained weight throughout my whole life. And it's always the same, like 30 pounds. But 30 pounds looks a lot different. For me, it was the difference between a 12-14 and like a 4-6.
Right.
So it was a very drastic difference. So I can totally relate to,
So what she says resonates with you,
yeah,
for sure.
absolutely. So I don't
That's
know.
a
It's
deep
sad
email,
though.
man.
Yeah.
It was. I don't think that I think that there are girls that like really go through, like Leah was saying, like it happens to her and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't.
Well,
Yeah.
we
Like
want to
you
hear
said,
more.
I don't know.
I think it's
guess
a
it just-
personality thing, honestly, because I'm more
100%.
susceptible to other people's opinions and especially their negativity getting me down. And I think you
Well,
guys
yeah,
are a
that-
little bit more confident and like no
we're
one,
narcissists, so
people
No, I
aren't
mean-
going to come to you and say, oh, bitch, like, you know, you look better, X, Y,
Yeah, but
and
I
Z.
think
or,
that like, well, you know, because I've had family issues as well.
Yeah,
with that.
listen.
So like, and I think that like, it's just a different way of like dealing with it because I've gotten. We've had conversations where I'm like, I totally understand what she's saying about her father and like the weight and stuff like that because I had the same thing. So not with my stepdad. So, but like you know, it gets to you, and then you're just like you know.
100%.
But it just I think it's just a matter of at one point, and I don't know. I think maybe you've gotten to that point now where you're just like, well, now I'm just like I don't. Well, people don't say anything to me anymore because I'm just like whatever.
I don't think I'm at that point yet.
No, you probably well.
Not
well,
yet.
you're not really like.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, all right, we'll go with that.
But yeah, it's definitely a work in progress. It's always going to be a work in progress
Yeah.
for me. I hope I
It'll
could
just
get to
fade.
a point.
Like it wasn't
Yeah.
like a thing where it was like one day I was just like, oh my god. Like I went through like a lot of tears, like a lot of mental breakdowns. Where even my husband was like, "What is happening to you?"
Oh, I think that's
and
what
I'm like,
Justin said right
Yeah.
now. He's like, what is, and I'll be honest, like since the wedding especially, my body has changed a lot. So I think Justin is noticing that I have more mental breakdowns than ever before. And he's like, what is going on? And it's just because I'm not comfortable in certain clothing. But it's just, I think I have to go through it and know that I'm beautiful no matter what, whether I am a size 2, 4, 6, or I'm a size 12, 14, 16, 18, whatever it is. Like I have to learn that, and I think it's something you have to go through the hard times of understanding. Like my weight isn't going to define who I am, and it's not going to dictate my mentality and my mental state.
Yeah.
You know, so
I think the best piece of advice for you and for this girl who wrote in is that you can't control other people.
Yeah.
And if these twats want to be like, oh, come hang out with us, because you're like, okay, girl, you know, like whatever.
Yeah.
Like you can't control them. You can only control yourself and your thoughts. And you just, like you said, you have to just work on it. And, you know, if that's who they are, that's shameful. Like, you know, the karma will go get them, like, and bite them in the ass. And that's that. But
exactly.
yeah, and I think it's totally up to you if you
Yes.
choose you want to hang out with them, or if you don't want to because of the way you're feeling.
right. So just send us their addresses and we'll
Just
murder
look-
them.
And just look at yourself in the mirror and be like, look at this face, and then look at
Yes.
that face.
Honestly,
Because they're all
Because
probably
I do that all the
Leah
time.
does
Like,
do that a
look
lot.
at me, and
They
then
could
look
be
at you.
skinny, but they're probably hideous as
Yeah.
shit. So
Exactly.
you know what?
And you know what? I don't want to look like that anyway. So whatever. You know what? I don't have any wrinkles because I stay chunky. So whatever.
Right. And I get Botox, so.
keep that collagen
I
in,
don't-
Well,
ladies.
thank you
would
for
like to
sharing
look
that to our
Botox.
anonymous sender. We are there, for, you know, like we're here for you. We're here
We
for
think
anyone
you're
who
hot.
feels that
You
way.
can send
Yeah.
us a DM, and honestly, thank you for sharing because it resonated with me, and I know it's going to resonate with a lot of other listeners
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
So,
Right. People want to hear about that stuff. So
Yeah.
thank
In
you.
conclusion, fuck them hoes. Okay, just keep in mind, people, if you have any stories or if you want to email us or DM us with anything, questions, comments, concerns, shoot us an email, info@ivorymaine.com, right?
Yes.
ivorymaine.com.
or
Yep.
DM us.
Ivorymaine.com.
Yeah.
Or just DM us. Gia's
Yeah.
always on these DMs. Crazy Gia to my right hand side. So,
DM me up.
you know what I was thinking about the other day? 4 years ago,
4
about
years
4
ago.
years ago, like this week
Yeah,
or
like
next
I
week.
think it's next week, but
No, it was March 14th. Tomorrow. I will never forget.
It is
because on-
tomorrow?
Yes, it's tomorrow
14th?
because on March 13th of 2020
Friday the 13th.
was my last wedding when Cuomo said, shut this shit down.
yeah,
'cause
but
of
I
COVID."
think it was groups, and then because I feel like we didn't shut down to the 20 something.
it was, or whatever. All right, so next week.
whatever. It doesn't make a difference. We're
When
coming up on the
at some
date.
point- we
At
shut
this
the doors-
point,
At some
yeah.
point 4 years ago.
Yeah.
4 years ago where COVID shut this business down.
Oh, it shut it down.
Corinne, how do you feel about that?
The anniversary.
The
The anniversary. Do you
anniversary.
have, is
I
it
have-
like traumatic?
Yes, it is. So when I remember like taking everything of any kind of value out of the store with the exception of the dresses, because where was I putting them? And I actually thought, like, should we get a storage unit? Like, what do we do? Like, what if like there's like we didn't know what was gonna happen. So I remember just being like walking through the store and nobody really on the streets and stuff, and just being like, because it was pretty dead down here at that time, and just being like, kind of like, I was crying, and I was like, I don't know if we're gonna reopen.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
and
it was scary.
And
it
we're
was
only 2 years
so
into business,
scary.
right?
Yes.
We were, so COVID was what, 2020? 2020, yeah, 2020.
2018 you opened.
2018. We opened in the spring of 2018, so we were only open for what, a
It was
year and a
2
half?
years.
Is that
No,
2
'cause
years?
COVID was
Yeah.
So all of
March.
Oh,
It was
okay.
spring.
So yeah, so then that's spring.
just,
So
like-
just 2 years. So we were so new. And I was like, oh my God. And I remember too, girls coming, because we were calling everybody, because we had bridal dresses in the back, like orders. And we were like, you need to come to the store and pick up your dresses, but we can't make contact with you. So how are we doing this? We did a drive-through up the back of the store where people would drive up, and then we opened the back door, and we would have to they couldn't come in the store. And we had to give them their dresses through the door. So I don't know if anyone's out there that still listens to the podcast and you were one of those girls that picked up your dress through the back entrance, let us know. But yeah, it was insane. I just remember crying and just saying to my husband, I don't know if we're going to make it out. And honestly, so everyone was off the payroll because obviously nobody was working. The only person I left on the payroll was Brianna.
Yep.
And I basically had no money in the bank because we were, again, like 2 years in, like not really, just kind of getting by. And I kept Brianna, and that's when we grew social media through TikTok. Mm-hmm. And it was insane.
good
And
time
me and
for
her
you.
just kind of talked every day. And like,
We talked
yeah,
every
it was
day,
crazy.
too.
Remember you vacuumed in your living room. We
But
put on our
remember-
wedding dresses and sat in our living rooms. And
I remember us talking every day too.
Oh, yeah.
And like just talking about like the future and what we have to do, what we
Yep.
can do, because that's when I was like working.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
yeah.
I mean? And I mean, it was shitty for me. I remember being furloughed from my full-time job.
Yeah.
I was like, I was literally furlouged for 16 months.
yeah.
And I
Because
was
after
like,
that
man,
was when you came to work at the store full time.
full-time.
Yep.
And then
What were you doing at the time?
I was a corporate event planner.
Wow.
9 to 5. I was traveling all
Wow,
over.
I didn't know this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was
That's really
an
cool.
account manager. I traveled all over the country, running meetings and
Wow.
events. I thought I was irreplaceable, and I just remember we had such a tight-knit team. It was a group of us, and one day they're like, I remember sitting in my office, and we all had like big programs going on. Like I had like 3 meetings going on, and one by one we get a cancellation call, cancel. And I remember calling my boss. I'm like, should we be worried? And she's like, I don't know, not yet. And then like, I remember the Zoom call, and they're like, listen, we're putting 80% of the company on furlough, and I was one of them, and I was like, well, shit.
like, shit.
What am I gonna do? And that's when I was
Yeah.
like, well, I got nothing else to do every day but get up and walk 5 miles and do my
That's
bike.
what
I
I
didn't have
did.
Scarlett. I had nothing else to live for but myself.
Oh my God.
You
me
know?
too.
You didn't have Scarlett. That's right. You
Can
weren't
I
even pregnant
say
yet.
Yeah.
the same thing happened to me, and that's why I lost
The
so much
easiest
weight.
thing ever. It was the
because-
easiest thing ever
yeah.
doing it then, because what the fuck else did I have to do?
I had nothing.
Yeah.
Justin was deployed on the COVID mission. He
She was
wasn't
literally
home.
by herself.
I was literally
With the
by
cats.
myself. No one came to visit me. No one. My dad was scared to visit me because of COVID. So my birthday went by. I sat here by myself on my birthday, just sitting there, like zooming with my mom. It was terrible. So what did I have besides
yourself,
working
working on
out?
yourself.
Because that was the only thing keeping me sane.
and it's
literally,
insulting.
No, but it's true.
It literally was
COVID
the
was a
only
blessing
thing
for
that
me,
helped me
honestly.
sleep too.
Yeah. And I remember, like, I did say, I was like positive about it. And at work too.
Yeah,
I was like,
you
don't worry,
said-
guys, we're gonna be back in 2 months, and then
Yeah,
what the
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
You originally said so I will say, in the bridal industry, we started feeling the effects of COVID in December.
Yes.
Because the dresses started becoming,
Oh my God, yes.
there were started to become delays.
Yeah.
And then, so we knew something was going on overseas because it was affecting the bridal gown deliveries
yeah.
and stuff. So
Because
we
they
were
all
like,
come from
something's
China.
going on. And then my husband is in the medical field. A lot of people don't know that. He's not a doctor, but he is in the medical field. And I remember Cassidy was like 2 weeks, and my husband looked at me and he said, Curinne, he goes, buckle up. You're not getting out of here until at least June. And I was like, it is March. We will never last. I still had to pay rent.
Yeah.
Like, how is this happening? I had zero money coming in.
And we were part of,
Yeah, and it was just absolutely insane. And I couldn't believe it. When he said it, I was like, no way. And he's like, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's like,
Paul
you
always
need
knows
to.
shit
he's,
like that.
He's like, my husband's
Rob
like,
too. Rob's like, it's not looking good, Cass.
he's like a G.
Well,
And
I don't
it
understand this
destroyed.
man.
It destroyed my industry. It
Oh,
destroyed
yeah.
the meetings and events industry.
Oh, my God.
Because it will never be the same.
It will never be the same.
The guy who owned my company at the time said that the only other time where it was this bad was after 9/11 because no plane was flying out, and our job was all flying.
Yes.
Like I fly people here and there. So the hospitality industry was knocked on his ass, but it got better after like a month or so. But
Yeah.
this was like insane, and it
This was
essentially
crazy.
it caused everyone lost their jobs, and
Yeah.
it was crazy. But I remember Curinne, and then when we came back, we
When we
opened
came
up
back.
in phases. Remember? And like I remember putting a story. I was like, "This is phase whatever, baby," and it was fucking wild.
Yeah.
And now here we are eating cookies,
Yeah.
drinking Diet Coke on our podcast.
No masks.
No masks.
I
masks.
didn't know if we were ever getting out of the mask.
It was like
phase.
when you look back on it, it was like an episode of The Twilight Zone.
Wait,
Yeah.
did we talk about the squirrel on
Okay, so
how to?
talking about kicking someone where they're fucking down. I remember
Was
I
this
got a
during
phone
COVID?
call. Yes. I get a phone call from Curinne one day, and this bitch, I was like, okay. She's like, I gotta get the exterminator into the store. There's a squirrel running loose in our store. I was like, bitch, what? She's like, it did some damage. I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh, what did he like pee on the floor? Curinne got a phone call one day. Stark COVID. There was like a Saybill man walking down the street. Do. He stopped. He was and then we were in the old shop. He was walking by the window and he noticed a fucking squirrel nibbling on one of the goddamn gowns in the window. So this nice man, because if he hadn't called, there would have been a dead squirrel in here. Called
Not
up
even
the
dead.
number.
It probably would have done even more damage.
Called up the number and said, hey, just want to let you know I am walking down the street and there was a squirrel eating one of your dresses. This motherfucker jumped in from a hole on the roof.
It fell out of the roof. Yeah.
Fell out of the roof.
drop
Must have
ceiling.
cut his nose off or on the chandelier because there was blood everywhere. Pissed shit all over the dresses. Shit show.
It was an absolute shit show.
$70,000 worth of
56 gowns, almost $80,000 worth of damage. But thankfully, the orders were in a locked closet in the back, so he never was able to get
So
in
not
there.
only was Curinne closed, no money.
Now I just lost.
a bunch of your samples.
Well,
Due to squirrels.
yeah, and at that time we probably had about 300 dresses, so to lose almost 60 gowns
So when
was
I-
insane.
I walked in because I didn't believe it. I'm like, so
Yeah.
I go in there, and this is when we were about to start opening up. I went in there and I called Curinne, and it looked like when I tell you, I'm not even exaggerating. Well, I am an exaggerator. I will give you that, but this was not an exaggeration. I walked in and there was fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on the floor. I called Curinne. I'm like, is he catering for his fucking friends? I'm like, there's peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. She's like, no, they had to leave traps out to catch the squirrels, so they put sandwiches.
By the way, they couldn't even catch him. This guy was like, he was
Why
crazy.
was that their trap?
I have
though?
video. I'll send it to you.
Yes.
We'll plug it
I
in.
would love to see that.
Catering
I
for
really
his
would.
friends.
So we had, I remember at the old shop before we moved here,
Yep.
there was a little porcelain statue of a squirrel, and there was a little sign on him, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. And if you come into this store, you'll see squirrels.
Yeah.
If you see a little squirrel, now you know why
That's
the
the
squirrel
imagery.
was there. So he was our store mascot for a long time.
Wow.
Oh, actually, he didn't die. They caught him and let
Yeah.
him loose, so he didn't die.
So God
that's
bless
great.
you, buddy,
God
wherever
bless
you are
buddy.
out there,
Wherever you
shitting
are.
all over
but
Maggie's
I will
dress.
say, everything happens for a reason, because if that didn't happen, then, and COVID, we moved into this new space in February of 2021, which was less than a year after,
Yeah.
we went through COVID and the
Insane.
squirrel. So, thank you, Jesus, and thank you, Mr. Fallon upstairs, for
Thank you,
letting
Daddy.
us come in here.
Thanks, Daddy. Hope you're listening.
Best landlord ever. So he's a great,
Well,
we
to
love this space.
bigger and
Great.
better to the future of Ivory and Maine.
Yeah.
All right, bitches. Segment Thick and Tired. My
Yay.
favorite part of the week.
Oh boy.
I'm starting.
Okay.
I am thick on my wedding dress. My
wedding
gown,
dress?
the gown that I wore this weekend for a wedding. I went to a wedding, Roosters on the Bay. Shout out to my little girl Daniela, my best friend Angela's little sister. I've known her since she was 5 years old. She got married at Roosters on the Bay. Beautiful wedding. I borrowed, as per usual, Curinne's beautiful black prom dress gown, whatever the hell it was.
It was a wedding gown.
Just a-
All right, it was a wedding.
It was a wedding gown, but it was black. That
It was
she
a black
wore to
wedding gown,
my
and she trimmed
wedding.
it.
And we turned it. Ooh.
And let me tell you, it was a hit. It was a goddamn hit.
it
Almost
was.
400 likes on
I
the gram.
forced her to wear that to my wedding.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was
did.
honestly
I
like people
forced
were
her.
like, "Where did you get that dress?" I'm
What
like,
if people realize?
She was like, "This is too much. I can't wear this to your wedding." And I was like, "You have to wear this to my wedding, or you're not coming."
I love that. It was
Yeah.
stunning. Stunning
great.
dress.
It
I
was
love
a
that. I was
beautiful
real
dress.
thick on that. Loved how I looked. Loved my blowout. From Salon Chroma, Steph Colombo says hi.
Hi.
She's pregnant.
Oh,
She's
shut
having
up.
another little baby. I'm obsessed with her.
She's
I said to her,
amazing.
if my best friend didn't own my best friend Steph, who lives in Merrick, owns a salon, I would go to Chroma all the time because she's amazing.
Yeah, she's so good. I
She's
love her.
so good. Love
we
her.
did a shoot at the Water's Edge in Centerport
Yeah.
with her, and
She's amazing.
But she was one of our brides.
Yeah, I'm obsessed
Yeah,
with
and
her.
her whole
She
family.
says hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I love her. Hi, Steph. We love.
Hi.
I am tired of
Tell all your
fucking
sisters
cleaning.
and your whole family. We said hi.
Everybody, right? I'm tired of cleaning. I got a 3-year-old. It doesn't fucking end. I pick one thing up. It's back on the floor again in 20 minutes. Mother of God, I can't stand it. Gia, thick and tired.
I am thick on Aries.
Oh,
So
that's
Aries-
my daughter.
There we go.
16. Hey, bitch.
Yeah, so I have about
so
10
awesome.
birthdays coming up, almost all in my family. Most of them are my family, my friends, my mom, my dad, my sister, my uncle, my everyone.
Wow.
Everyone is an Aries, so if you need to hang out with me, you can't. I have birthday parties up the wazoo.
Yes.
So, I mean, I guess I am kind of tired of that, but I'm thick on it because I'm happy that everyone gets to see another birthday and I get to celebrate with them.
Amen. That's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute, Gia.
It's sweet.
Cutie.
I like my family. I'm happy they're here. You know?
Oh, good.
Yeah. And, that I have to celebrate all of their birthdays literally in 1 week. But
I'm the
anyways,
same way with Libras.
Yeah.
Everyone's
me with
fucking
Leos.
birthday.
That's
Everyone's
so much.
In
birthday
1
is
week.
Leo.
Yeah.
1 week. My mom, my dad, Justin,
Yep.
all my
Wow.
friends.
Yep.
The heavy hitters.
Fucking
Huh?
awful. Yeah.
What are you tired on, babe?
Yeah. I'm between a couple things right now. I'm mostly leaning towards, I'm kind of sick of these bangs I have. I'm just tired of them. They're cute, but they are the bane of my existence. They are always in the way. I can't put them up. I have to use my little creaseless clips. I'm absolutely sick and tired. I'm thick and tired of them. I'm tired of them
Well, they
getting
look
in my way.
good. I like a good little bang.
Thank you. They do look good, but I'm just tired of it at this point. But also, am I really gonna stop getting them? You know what I mean?
Just make them longer.
That's what I think I'm gonna do. Turn it into a curtain bang. But I'm tired of putting my hair into a roller every day for them to just fall
Right.
straight.
Yeah.
And then I look like a little sewer rat. Leah.
Maybe Stephanie from Salon Chroma can give you some hints on that. How do you
No,
take care of
literally.
that right
Leah
now?
Perez, thick and tired.
Okay, so my thick is very specific, but now that we're going into the warmer weather, I really look forward to my sushi date nights with Justin, where we take his truck onto the beach, watch the sunset, have some wine, he'll have some beer. It's literally the best.
Beautiful. What beach?
It depends. So sometimes we'll go to, I don't know the beach names out here. Robert Moses. Sometimes we'll go there, but he has the pass for Smith's Point.
Oh yeah.
But my favorite is Cupsog.
I saw a machete fight at Smith's Point.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways.
All right.
what?
It was a whole thing. It was just, I didn't look, because why are you going to look in the eye of danger?
Yeah, I mean,
That's
don't
how
do
you
that.
become a
Well,
target.
Hopefully
Don't
they're
do
not
that.
in the area that Justin and I will be at.
Nah,
when
you'll be
we're
fine. You'll be in a
eating
truck.
our
You have a getaway
sushi.
car.
Yeah.
You'll be good.
Okay. And I'm tired of going to bed late and then being tired all day.
You're just tired. I'm tired.
I'm tired of being tired.
I'm tired of not having a bedtime.
But I go to bed late because Justin stays up late because he works night shift all the time. So I have to, it's part of my wifely duties is to hang out with him while I can.
Oh, fuck him. Go to bed.
Wow, you're such a good wife.
You're such a good wife. I'd be like, see you, Rob.
No,
See you, Rock.
honestly,
No, I was like, peace out. I'm going to
If
bed.
I go to bed, it's a long routine of you have to come tuck me in. Like you have to, like I literally, I
you- I
can't just
can't
go to
imagine.
What's
bed.
going on in the Perez household? I'm just going to be fucking tucked in and shit.
In.
Yeah, so he
Like a
hates
physical
it.
touch?
Yes, he has to wrap my legs
Physical tuck.
with the blanket. Yeah, and I'm like, if you don't, I can't fall asleep, and I'll just stand there like a toddler.
Wow.
Like, come tuck me in.
She's out.
High maintenance.
Curinne Fatilina Plizzy. Thick and
She's young.
tired, baby.
All right, so I am thick on the fact that Sydney passed her road test finally.
Yay!
So I'm very
goodness.
happy about that. And now we have 2 teenage drivers in the house, which is fine because now my husband actually just extended my driveway that I've been asking for a couple of years. And it is beautiful and I love it, but it is very large.
Congratulations, Sydney.
Yeah. So I got 2 teenage drivers and a good driveway out of it. My thired, no.
My fired. Bitch. tired this week.
I'm always tired. So my tired is people coming into the store and then telling me how to run my business. I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
I know I don't want to sound ungrateful, but like the things that you're telling me to do, like, oh, if they could have just made this dress like this, or they should have done this dress. I don't design the dresses. So like, I don't know, like I can't go to the designer. You should tell them that they should do this. No, I can't do that.
God. That's right.
Like I can't do that at all. And yeah, and I just feel like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone, I love to learn from people, but the way that people approach me sometimes is not they're not telling me anything. They're giving me their unwarranted opinions. And you know what? I say it all the time. If you wanted to be me,
Right.
go out and do it.
Yeah, if you think you could do it, take a shot
Do
at
it.
it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Dare you.
Put your money and your life on
Right.
the line. And
I feel like that
see,
sometimes
see,
too.
I don't see too many people doing that.
Yeah, and I get where you're coming from
Yeah.
with that, because sometimes I do feel like people can be condescending in
Yes.
their tone of voice when they say it.
Yes.
So it's not just like, oh, if this dress just had this, it would be the perfect dress. It's like you should contact the designer
Yeah.
and tell them why would they
Yeah.
think to do it like this.
Yeah.
So
Some
I
lady-
back you up on that. That's 100%.
Thank you. Some lady called a while back. She says, we used to be closed Mondays and Tuesdays. And she
Yeah, I
says on
remember
the phone, I think I tried to call. And I said, I understand. I said, we're actually closed on Mondays and Tuesdays. Well, as a small business, you should be, have a receptionist there 7 days a week. Are you kidding me, lady? Like, I was like, those are like the type of opinions that you don't need to.
For one
what am I
call.
not supposed to have a day off
For
a
one
phone
call.
call? So let me just sit here and just sit
Wait.
and wait for your call. Like, come on, you leave a message and we'll call you back as soon as we come in.
And then
Yeah.
what happens when
These
they
are
call?
like the unwarranted opinions that well, unwanted. Maybe we'll call them that I don't want.
Unwanted.
I'm sorry. I don't want. And people are gonna be like, oh, humble yourself, but it's not that. It's
No.
just that think about what you're saying before you say it. That's
Yeah.
all I'm asking.
Like, just keep it to yourself. We don't go around
Certain
telling you how to do your
things.
freaking job.
But if you have a valid thing, like
Yeah, and
what's the
you
word I'm
say,
looking
it's the
for?
way how you say it too. Like a lot of
People aren't talking to me; they're talking at me when they do
Right.
that, and I'm not a fan.
Right.
No.
right.
Yes, I'm a grown ass woman. A lot of people come in here and they think that I'm a kid because I look young. So, haha.
Heavy on the collagen.
So yeah, so they'll talk down to me. I've had mothers, and then I'm like, I'm the owner, and they're like, oh, you've
Yeah.
seen it
Oh,
happen.
yeah. Yeah. That's
And then
why
I'm like almost. I'm knocking on 50's door, people.
Which is insane.
Isn't it though? Because
Someone
so
asked
beautiful.
me how old you were.
Who?
But it wasn't like, oh, how old is she? It was,
Yeah, it was
how
like,
it was
how
a
old
friend
is
or
she?
something. Like, I don't know. They were like, well, how old is Curinne? And I'm like, oh, remember I was in Massapequa at my friend's house and your lawyer lives next door to her?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's like, oh my God. She's like, yeah, Jana said she loves her. She's like, how old is she? I'm like, she's 47. She was like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
She goes, excuse me? She
Yeah.
goes, she's not our age? I'm like, no. She's like, I'm like, but she's like, there's no way.
Yeah,
I'm like,
people
no.
usually think I'm in my 30s, and it's not. It's
36,
I say
37.
it's like it's a great thing. It's like look younger, but it also is like people will talk down to me because they think, oh, you're like a kid. Because 30 years old nowadays is really like you feel like it's a kid. Like I don't look at you girls like that because I feel like everyone's on like equal levels. But like it's different when someone's on the outside and they come in and they do that, and I'm just like. There's women that have come in here that talk shit to me, like moms, and I'm like, by the way, I'm older than you are.
Yeah.
So I don't know who you think you're talking to right now, but please stop
Right.
because I'm not a child.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Respect
so
your elders.
that's my tired.
So we're tired. I mean, I'm real fucking tired. I gotta go home. Rob's tried calling me. I'm like, I'm wrapping up. Anyway, girls, that was a really good episode. That was deep. It was heavy, but it was fun. I had a great time.
Yeah.
Again, we want to hear from you. Please don't be shy. Like you see, we're starting to get emails and DMs from our listeners.
I love it. I love
We'll
hearing
keep you
from
anonymous if you want to stay anonymous, but if you just want to air out your grievances or tell us what you're thick and tired
tell
about,
us.
let us know.
Yeah. If you want to yell at us,
Yeah,
do
I
that
want to
too.
hear everyone else's.
I
want to
hear. Yeah, I want to hear
Yeah.
your thick
Oh, yeah.
and tired.
Just send that in a DM.
That's
Yeah,
what we
what's your
want.
thick and tired
We
today?
want
What are you thick
DMs
on?
today of what you're thick and
Yeah,
tired
put up a
on,
story.
and we will.
Yeah.
Stoyer.
We'll go ahead and do it.
Stoyay.
We will do it. We'll talk about it. So that's a wrap. Love you guys again. Love my recording days with you all. And until next time, we will see you next Tuesday.